Gun Meme Review. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to Gun Meme Review, the show that's normally on the first and third Thursday of every month. Sorry about that. Schedules are a little off because I actually just got back, as you can see, to North Carolina. We're doing a little bit of fitty work. Might have a video for that coming out next week, just going into a little bit more detail on what happened with the AK-50 test fire, which, just for the record, it always puts me in a good mood. But let's ruin that by talking about politics. So our geriatric-in-chief started talking about guns the other day.
Background checks, ban on assault weapons, repeal of liability shield for gun manufacturers.
He brought up, the classics like his nomination of our favorite Mr. David Chipman.
It means confirming my outstanding nominee to lead the AFT.
And yes, he did call it the AFT again. But his handlers were sure to make sure he was able to correct that.
Excuse me, the ATF.
But that's not all. It got a little weirder.
The Second Amendment, from the day it was passed, limited the type of people who could own a gun, and what type of weapon you could own.
It actually didn't limit what kind of gun you could own. And as far as who could own a gun in the late 1700s, I don't know if you want to go there, Joe. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to go back to that.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
But aside from being just objectively wrong about history, he left us with this gem.
The tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been, if you wanted to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15's and maybe some nuclear weapons.
Ignoring the fact, for now, that I think Thomas Jefferson might have something to say about the tree of liberty not being watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants, he goes on to say that in order to go against the government, you would need F-15's and maybe nukes. This is all rationalizing why you shouldn't be able to have any gun that they deem scary. And of course, the gun meme community took it from there. Ever notice the F-15 isn't an assault weapon? No threaded barrel, no pistol grip, no folding or collapsible stock, no barrel shroud, no foregrip, no bayonet lug, no 30-round mag. Setting aside for a moment the missiles and machine guns on it, but Plus, now you're going to be regulated by two government organizations, the ATF and the FAA. Dustin from Top Shot had this one. Come and take it. Kind of fitting, I guess. Gonzales, Texas. Cannon was the artillery weapon of the time. Now we've kind of moved forward in technology a little bit. It makes sense. When do I get my F-15 and recreational nukes? My bank account. That's the neat part. You don't. It's a really funny meme, especially like the gun stores and shit like that that have been putting up signs saying that F-15s and 80% nukes are back in stock. F-15s are kind of expensive. Your wife yells at you when you buy a new gun. Think about how much a plane costs. Plus, for the average person, that's kind of like putting you in the cockpit of an alien spaceship. You might as well. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Me and the boys trying to figure out how to fly the F-15 we just bought off the dark web. Something's fucky. Better learn quickly, because once you figure out takeoff, you better learn quickly. If I had a nickel for every time you threatened to bomb your own population, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Man, I'm so glad we got rid of the guy who tweeted mean things. I'm so much happier now that we have somebody that's implying they're going to nuke me for what I have over my wall that I'm not turning in. Although, taking another moment to point out, on the ATF's e-file site, SOTs do have the option of registering nuclear devices. They probably weren't talking about actual nuclear weapons, but I mean, that's open to interpretation, I believe. Nuclear bomb. Shopping. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember the days when Google Shopping still worked for guns. It seems fucking crazy now, but there was a time at one point where you could go gun shopping on Google and compare prices for things. Midway, Bud's Gun Shop, all that shit would show up in the Google Shopping tab. They did away with that years and years and years ago, but damn, if we lived in a free country. It didn't mean you could just buy a gun on Google and have it shipped to your house. It still had to go to a gun store. Contrary to popular belief, we do have a background check system in the United States. You have to fill out a 4473 and everything. They run you, make sure you're not a felon or a crazy person, and then you buy your gun. Pretty sure that's been the law since like the 90s. But speaking of nukes, that leads us to today's sponsor, Fruit Nukes. Fruit Nukes, not an actual nuke, by the way, in case you were curious. Also not a fruit. Fruit Nukes is a binary explosive that is perfectly legal and able to ship straight to your door. You ever wonder how gun tubers do all that explosive target stuff? This is the stuff. Just go out to the range, follow the instructions on the side, mix it up, place it at a safe distance, and enjoy. Just remember, safe distance. Don't be an idiot with this stuff, or else you might end up on the Darwin Awards, which the new episode is out and doing quite well, by the way, so thank you guys. Anyhow, I'm going to have links for that down in the description and in the pinned comment. Back to the video. It's too a lot. Depends on the context. Dollars? No. Threatening to nuke your own citizens twice? Yes. Big ups for Doctor Who meme, by the way. Gee, I sure do love that tolerant laugh. Just like Eric Swalwell a little while back on Twitter threatened to nuke people he disagreed with. Because you know what's better than owning those dangerous assault rifles that, on average, are responsible for like 300 deaths per year in a country with over 350 million people in it? Nuclear weapons! Yes, that's much better. That's... Glad we can use our words. And since we mentioned Eric Swalwell, I kind of have to.
Chris, so far, the evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
And I'm so glad Swalwell never got an opportunity to be at the Oval Office in front of the nuclear button. Fuck. The AR-15 is a weapon of war. Useless against the military. They can't really seem to make up their mind as to whether it's an ultimate weapon of mass destruction or completely useless in defending against government tyranny. Schrodinger's gun, simultaneously useless against the military and a weapon of war that no civilian should own. Weird, because now we need F-15s and nuclear weapons all of a sudden to defend ourselves against a hypothetical future tyrannical government. And yet this is the same party that's trying to say that our democracy was almost toppled by a coup that was made up of a couple hundred unarmed dudes in January. Weird. But enough about him. Let's spread the love around. He also brought up in his speech again our favorite, David Chipman, and the ATF, or AFT, whatever it is today.
Outstanding nominee to lead the the ATF.
I'm going to attack Koresh's church. Save all the kids you said are being abused. Just to save all the kids, right? Ah, good old Waco Chipman, saving kids the same way that Spetsnaz saves hostages. David Chipman, watching someone peacefully possess a pistol brace. They called me the brace hunter. Where are you hiding them? Are your pistol braces under the floorboards? Go for the high score. Be a man. I can't be the only one who fucking loves those be a man memes. This is of course referring to the new score system that the ATF has come out with as to whether or not your pistol brace makes you a felon or not. We also did a video on that if you're not up to speed on all of that. Yes, under this new administration, I'm afraid it looks like they're going to be going after the firearms part of that alcohol, tobacco, firearms. You know, the one that causes the least amount of deaths of the three. Enforcing the A. More than 95,000 people die from excessive alcohol use in the US each year. Nah. Enforcing the F. Firearm homicides. Number of deaths, 14,414. Deaths per 100,000 population, 4.4. Yeah. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. 38,000 annual gun deaths, homicides, and suicides included. 95,000 annual alcohol deaths. 480 annual tobacco deaths. Now, I'm not saying I want to regulate all those things more either. I'm not saying anything either way, actually. But I'm saying that there might be a reason why they're focusing on the one that is responsible for the least deaths by far, but may be a little bit easier to use the media to tug on your emotional heartstrings. Food for thought. And just because I don't want this to be all politics, let's go to a couple just miscellaneous gun memes. Just for you guys. ARs are objectively more accurate than AKs. Yes, but are you accurate enough for it to matter? Did you know my AR-15 is 1/4 MOA more accurate than your AK? I'm not exactly sure that's the most important thing to look at a combat rifle that is only useful within about 300, 400 yards. I know for a fact if we're talking about standing, it doesn't fucking matter what I use. I'm going to shoot like shit at 400. There are people who can do it. I'm not one of them. So, my decision has been clear. What would you do if you found me in your fridge? Oh, that's gross. This original video is one of the AK-50 firing videos from like December of last year, I think. I do not condone it. You did Belle Delphine dirty. Not that she needed any help with that. Reject OnlyFans. Embrace gun and ammo hoarding. The CDC also says that you can stop moving to Texas. Unless you're a freedom-loving American who thinks the NFA is bullshit, then in that case, of course, you're welcome. Not really a gun meme, but it's pertinent because I wanted to say that after I'm done with everything here, I am going back to Texas, and I can't fucking wait. But in the meantime, I'm going to be finishing up some AK-50 stuff while I'm back here in Fayetteville. By the time you guys see this, I will hopefully be on a plane back to the promised land. I miss brunch with the homies. In a perfectly heterosexual way. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. And as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. Gun meme review.
First that was kind of weak.
Yeah, okay.
The point is that there's always been the ability to limit.
Yeah, so.
He's sounding particularly old today.
Yeah, right. I just think he's a week older now.
He sounds like old Thanos at this point. They call me a man.
Perfectly balanced as you know, the thing. Also, now you're going to be regulated by the ATF and the Future Farmers Association. Yeah, that's where you're getting.
Plus, if that man is shooting from an F-15, you literally be the top shot.
Midway, Midway, Bud's Gun Shop, all that shit would actually show up in the Google Shopping. Fuck. There's a combo move here between memes I'm trying to work out in a flow. Enforcing the F, firearm homicides. Enforcing the F, firearm homicides. What the fuck? There was one thing what were we going to tell? Oh, yeah, no, we already did it. Yeah, we're good.